you feel? Pretty good, huh? I know. Oh, okay. So, when was the last time in your life that you had that experience of like, oh my God? When's the last time? 5 minutes ago. That's a good answer. So I really want you to think about it. Where in your life, where in life itself, do you find those experiences? I mean, life is filled with those experiences. It's everywhere present. We just have to be willing to see it and to actually then not only be willing to see it, but be willing to make a fool out of ourselves and just stand there and go, oh my God, at that high pitch. So I would like to hear everybody try that. Ready? And, oh my God! Now, what does that feel like when you actually do that? It activates something, doesn't it? So, it's a good workout for your voice, too. So the theme this month is possibility, right? And last week, I asked you to do 3 things. I said, find out how much possibility you allow in your life. How much of the infinite possibility that's available to you do you allow into your life? And then I said, cultivate an open heart and allow for more of you to come through, which is really the other side of that. How much of the possibility do you notice? How much do you allow into your life? And then how much of you are you open to letting out? Now, we talked about this yesterday on BODS, this whole idea of barriers and walls that we get behind to protect us, but we've basically protected us from everything that's out there. And we've protected ourselves from what's inside. And we haven't really protected ourselves at all. We've just shut down. So how much of your inner self are you willing to open up, to let out, so that it can actually experience this stuff out here? That was number 2. And the last one was, notice when you're reacting to something out there, or when you're acting on your behalf. Notice when you're just reacting to something that might have happened today that threw you off, or to something that's in your life that throws you off whenever it shows up, or when something inside of you is always coming from the authentic. So I have a couple slides to show you, and I just want you to open your hearts and just take a look at what you see and just let yourself experience what you experience. So go ahead, Barbara. Oh my God. You can leave that there. So, what do you feel when you see things like that, when you see an amazing sunset? Anybody else up this morning for the sunrise? It was spectacular. The sky had a color I didn't know was even available. I wish they made shirts in that color. It was so gorgeous, so beautiful. And this tree, I believe it is an oak tree. Nick, is it an oak? I believe it's an oak. Just the idea of everything around it, and it reminds me of the tree in my backyard. How often do you walk by things like this and not even see it? How often do you miss an oh my God moment because you are busy with something in your mind? It's really important for us to start getting in touch with the world we live in and not just the cyber world that we've created. So many of us are so busy on our phones texting that we miss what's going on around us because we're walking and texting. And if that tree were right there and I was trying to get that text in, I'd walk right by it. Anybody else feel that? They're like, no, I love my text. Move on in the talk. So when I asked you last week about reacting and acting, what occurred to me this week was that ultimately they're the same thing. And the title of my talk today is All Things Being Equal. It actually is all things equal, but it's all things being equal. Because guess what? All things are equal. This is not you reacting to this tree. Part of it is. But really, it's you identifying the tree within you. That's what's really going on. And so the more we stop identifying ourselves out there and get caught up in our heads, the less we are willing to experience the oh my God life. So I had to really go back and look at this. So I'm talking about, are you reacting or are you acting? You're always coming from something within. So now the question is, what do you react to? What pushes your buttons? Because by the philosophy that we study, what's pushing your buttons is in you. It's who you are. It's who you've become. It's who you've become based on what you've done with your mind. So if something or someone is pushing your buttons, you are not reacting to them pushing your buttons. You are literally reacting to the ignition of the button. The ignition of, is ignition the right word? To the igniting of the button within you that you put there, and now it's you. It's part of you. You think, but it's not. That's all man-made. It's all the stuff we've done with our minds to create these lives that we so beautifully live in. And I'm here to talk to you today about the idea of exercising a lot of that crap and really getting in touch with this innate beauty that is within each and every one of you. That's the possibility before us. So, as I said, the title of my talk is All Things Being Equal. So Ernest Holmes says this: the universal mind contains all knowledge. It is the potential ultimate of all things. The universal mind contains all knowledge. It is the potential ultimate of all things. To it, all things are possible. The universal mind. I love the concept, the potential ultimate. The potential ultimate of all things. That's universal mind. That's what we call God, love, energy, life force, whatever you call it. So the universal mind is your mind, is my mind. Therefore, my mind is the ultimate possibility of life. That's who I am. He goes on to say, though, to us, as much is possible as we can conceive according to law. So when I read that, I thought to myself, it's interesting. Ernest Holmes is saying the universal mind is infinite potentiality, and that is your mind, that is my mind. We are infinite potentiality. And then he goes on to say, in the human realm, however, it's only potentially infinite to the degree that you are potentially infinite. It's only infinite to the degree that you accept the infinite nature of your mind. It's only possible to the degree that you accept the possibility that is in your mind. There's the dilemma for all of us. Because I fear that what has happened in this society that we all live in on earth, we have bought ourselves a picture of ourselves that is somewhat limited based on human error and what's been going on in the world. And yet, he says, as much as possible as we can conceive, according to the law. Well, what's the law? The law is, it is done unto you as you believe. So there's the law. Now, what can you conceive? Whatever you conceive and believe, you will achieve. That's how it works. So how much of this infinite possibility of life, not only can you, are you willing to be open to? That means, guess what you'd have to do? Stop complaining. Anybody here complain? Just Jamie Lula. Okay. No, we all do. I hear myself every now and then, very seldom. But I hear myself every now and then, don't I, Kevin? Kevin points it out every time if I try to complain. But I hear it, and as soon as you start to complain, you are right there shutting off that infinite possibility because you're identifying with your complaint. So don't complain. Refrain from complaining. And decide to tap into the truth of who you are. So Ernest Holmes says this: should the wisdom of the universe, I love this quote, should the wisdom of the universe be poured over us, we should yet receive only that which we are ready to understand. should the wisdom of the universe be poured over us. When's the last time you felt like the entire universal wisdom has been poured over you? 5 minutes ago. There's the wisdom of the universe being poured over you. It's not in a book. It's not in a class, although take them. It's not in even coming here and being part of this. It's in this. If you can, I wish I could just jump up and hug this tree and be one with this tree. If you could really allow yourself to assimilate all of this, that's the infinite of the universe being poured over you. How much time do we give ourselves to do that? He still says, you would receive only that which you are ready to understand. I love reading this quote this week because we're about to start classes this week. And 2 of the classes, this is the very first time in my whole career as a minister where I will be teaching a practitioner 1 class and a practitioner 2 class simultaneously. And I'm very excited to do this. And I'm also excited for the minds that are coming into that Prac 1 class and the Prac 2 class, of course, but I had them all last year. The Prac 1 class minds, Laurie's like, great. The Prac 1 minds, they're so excited to get in there and start this. So I will ask you, students that are coming into class, how much are you willing to understand? How open are you going to be to understanding this teaching from such a deep level that your life starts to unfold in ways you could have never imagined? That's what mine did. From the moment I heard Dr. David Walker speak, my life has never been the same. It has never been the same. There are moments I curse him, but most of the time I'm very grateful for that first day I heard him speak. But the real question is, are you willing to be open to what you hear? So the question is, what are you ready for? What are you ready for? How do you prepare for the possibilities in your life? And this is a big one. Are you preparing yourself? Do you prepare for what's about to happen? I meet with actors all the time. And when actors meet with me and they're saying, I just don't have a good agent, I can't get a job, there aren't enough auditions out there, which really does not make sense anymore. There are 7 billion networks all looking for people to fulfill their projects. So if you don't have a job, go into your mind and find out why. Sorry to be harsh, but that's the truth. So it's not about the lack out there, it's about the lack in here. In every area of our life, by the way. But I work with actors all the time, and they're always saying, how can I get in touch with, I really want to get in touch with great work. Well, when was the last time you acted? Oh, I don't take jobs unless they're really good jobs. Really? Why don't you go on a street corner and act? If you have the desire to act, act. Just act. Go out and act. Go to Ralph's and pretend to be someone else. That's acting. Try it out. Maybe you'll get better at acting and someone will hire you. But what I'm talking about is, are you prepared? Are you preparing? Are you preparing for an amazing career as a singer-songwriter? That's a definite yes. Oh, yes. Yes. Right? You have to be. Ask yourself. If you're saying, I want this, ask yourself, am I prepared for that? If that should come up, am I ready to do it? Because a lot of people will say, no, not yet. Not yet. I'm working on it. Stop working on it. Do it. That really is what this message is about today. You want the possibilities that are available to you? Take them. Don't wait for them to show up. Don't wait till you're ready. Don't prepare to be ready. Don't prepare to be ready. Don't take a class to prepare to be ready. I could do this all day. Just do it. That's the reason why we use our thing, do it now. Ernest Holmes said this, the potential possibilities of what we call the highest and the lowest are inherent in everything. I'm going to read that again. Really open your mind and listen to this. The potential possibilities of what we call the highest and the lowest are inherent in everything. You know what that means? That means that you have the capability of having an amazing day or a really sticky day. You can have a great time, you can have an awful time. What makes that happen? despite popular opinion, it's not because there's some God up in the sky deciding whether you deserve a good day or not. It's not. The only difference to the great day or the not so great day is you. It's your mind. That's it. You are the deciding factor. And you may sit here and get a little annoyed about that and go, is he saying this is my fault? Well, as a matter of fact, I am. I'm saying it's your fault. But it's also your brilliant opportunity to turn it around. I learned long ago, I don't say it's my fault anymore. Do I, Kevin? Ever. I never say it's my fault. I just point out the opportunity to do something else. No, but you don't. It's not like I created this crap. Oh my God. I don't do that anymore. I'm like, oh my God, look how brilliant I am. I can even create that gigantic mess. But I don't like that, so I'm going to create this. That's what possibility is all about. That's the opportunity you have to use that brilliant mind of yours to create whatever you want from this limitless possibility. As Ernest Holmes says, you can create the highest, you can create the lowest. It is innate in every situation. The only difference is you, Craig Lincoln. Just you. And it's so great that but as you, as me, you, as me, as you. But not to call you out, but Craig won the bronze medal in the diving Olympics in Munich in 1972. And I just, you know what, it's always worth applause. But when I talked to him and when he explained this, one of the first things he said to me was how funny it was, and I don't know if you remember telling me this, that someone said to him after he won, someone very quickly after that said, oh, how did it feel to not get the gold? I was like, wow, there's a perspective. I'm the third best diver in the world. Damn it. I could have been first. But that's what we're talking about today. It's your perspective. Are you the person that instantly goes to, you missed the gold? Or are you the person of like, you what? Oh my God. That's the person we need to be. Right? So the potential possibilities of what we call the highest and lowest are inherent in everything. I must tell you, when I read that, it was like a big aha to me. So in other words, when I have a really bad experience, a really great experience was also inherent in that really bad experience. What did I do in my mind to opt for this one? And let me tell you, you're opting for this one. You're choosing this one. So, I know you don't do it on purpose. If you do, then you need a different kind of doctor. I know that you really want the best. Is there anybody here who doesn't want the best for their life? No, we all want the best, the most amazing experience of life we can have. And yet sometimes we really choose the lowest common denominator. We do, because we get it, and we are equal to it. You are never reacting to what's out there. You are always tapping into what's in here. So if you see something out there that you start reacting to, tap into where it is in here and extricate it. Get rid of it. If you see yourself jealous of someone else, get rid of it. Jealousy has a belief behind it that you're not good enough or that you're not worth it. That's the work we do here. We back everything up to a belief, and if the belief serves us, great. If it doesn't, bye-bye. That's the work. So, 3 things. Pay attention. Could you go back on these slides again? I want you to look at these slides again, Barbara. Now, this slide is called Magnificence. It is a bunch of gorges shot through this gorgeous red tree. When I looked at it, when it said magnificence, I realized that it's basically saying to us, innate in all of nature is the magnificence of life. It depends on the view. It depends on where you are willing to look from. This person decided to take that picture from that tree, or where he was, or she was, but where are you viewing life from? Are you willing to view life from the magnificence that life is? Or, I love that you just said yes, like that. How old are you again? 12. So I just said, are you willing to view life from the magnificence that life is? And I look over and he goes, every single one of us should feel that way. if we were to stand at that perspective and view every aspect of life from there, now we're talking about our authentic selves. Ernest Holmes says, the possibilities of the law are infinite, and our possibilities of using it are limitless. Our possibility of using this thing called you, this thing called your mind, our possibility of taking every area of our life and filling it with that view, seeing from that place, understanding from that depth of being. I guarantee you, if you change your perspective and come from who you truly are, everything you see will look different. It might not be different, but it will be different to you because your relationship to it is going to be authentic and deeply felt from that place of oneness. So that's our job this month, and then every day after that, to really turn this around. Ernest Holmes is a brilliant teacher, a brilliant man. I'm so excited to get to start again on Wednesday night, to take his earliest writings with his latest writings and to bring them together. I know a lot of you will be there with me. This is going to be an amazing year here at this center. It is filled with limitless possibilities for all of us. We just have to be willing to take them. Namaste. Thank you.